Hey everybody, how are you? It is Monday, 20 somethings, I don't know, 23rd of February. And as I'm recording this, and I just wanted to reach out to everybody in Big Soul Network today and say hi. This has been Kindness Month, and I have just had some thoughts around sharing a little bit about what kindness is and isn't for me at the moment, and maybe it resonates with you. It is about being kind to ourselves first and foremost, I think, just now, because I am recognizing all of the um, challenges that are going on in the world just now. I mean, the energetic sort of frequencies are changing so much. There is so much harsh stuff going on. There's lots of things kind of showing up. The darkness is definitely kind of like coming into the into view even more than we might have thought it was in the last few years. And this has certainly thrown lots of situations for me to actually really kind of tune into and go, how does this feel for me? And what does this mean about being in the world at this time as a awakened soul, someone who totally understands my soul sort of consciousness and my connection to that, but living in a very human world and a human existence, all while trying to sort of navigate that, run a business, have a life. It can be a lot, and it has felt like a lot, certainly over the last couple of months in particular. So something else came up just last week at an event I was at online for Heartbeat for the platform that we run Big Soul Network in here. And they were they've been adding new things. I mean, I love how visible and accessible their founders are, the people who are actually working behind the scenes. I mean, they do a monthly town hall is what they call it, basically talking about what's happened, what's coming, what they're working on, and showcasing the direction that they want things to go in. But they're also very honest and vulnerable when things don't go right. And they had quite a big um, outage on the platform last month that affected people. And some folk were quite angry, and I suppose understandable if you've just been about to do a big launch and suddenly things aren't working. But the concept that came up from that was somebody had shared it in the comments, and I suddenly thought that is exactly where we are and where we fear sometimes about going forward. And it is about learning in public and being prepared to learn in public. Because when we are running a business, it is all about stepping out of your comfort zone and taking a different approach and trying something new. And that does mean we need to learn in public. We need to step out of the kind of behind the scenes, sitting there constantly trying to, jiggle something and get it to be absolutely perfect before we unleash it in the world. But that is never going to get us moving forward, and it never gets us moving forward if we've got a mission and a purpose and a sense that we are here in whatever capacity your work is. You're here because you want to make a difference in the world. And if we're not prepared to learn in public, then how can we make a difference in the world? That's just really what I'm so aware of, and what came up. And I thought, okay, this is really interesting because I can see for myself where I was holding back. We're almost at a year of Big Soul Network. For some of us, some of the my wonderful friends who came in to help test the platform before we really kind of opened up to the public, you've been here for a year now. And as I look back at that year, there's been a lot of learning in public with yourselves just to see what would work and what doesn't, and tweaking things and trying to make sure that it's offering value to you. But it's also required me to step in and be more honest about my connection to consciousness, to the conversations and sort of channeling of wisdom that come to me, and really just opening up the potential for what it was that I wanted to sort of bring into the world again and to help support all you guys. But I also recognised that I wasn't necessarily being as visible out there. It was fine to kind of talk about this in this little safe space because I know that you all get it, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But to go beyond that was definitely a bit of a leap. And so yeah, so I recognise that that's still a kind of work in progress and things are moving. But being looking at that as learning in public, actually being prepared to step out, to share something with an audience, because we want to bring more people here who have also got this vision of purpose and bringing more good stuff into the world in whatever way that you are. And I can only do that if I actually choose to learn in public too, not just in the safe space of this community, but actually going out beyond that too. So, so because it is kindness, this has been the month of looking at kindness. I've kind of been just thinking about what does that mean then for me? And I would say then it's kindness isn't always fluffy. Um, because is for me about holding my line in the sand. That's meant I have spoken out about some things that are happening in the world that I just don't agree with. Things that have really hurt my heart and soul about the thing, what I'm witnessing. It's meant that I have stepped back from going on the trip to America that I was gifted because I don't align with what is happening over there and just choose that this is a healthier, kinder way for me to be actually not to go on that trip, which was also a big decision and quite a difficult conversation to have with the wonderful woman who has paid for my trip to go, but she understands. And that's for me is the line in the sand about what is acceptable and what is not. And that is kindness to me. That is kindness saying, this is where my values are. This is what my soul and my human coming together say no more beyond this. And therefore, that's the same for all of the things that we do, the people that we connect with, the work that we do, and what we're and how we engage then and what is beyond our immediate and sometimes it is our immediate families and friends, but it's actually how we engage with that. What is the line in the sand? Where is that line for me that is recognizing that that's as far as I am prepared to go, and if something goes beyond that, I will speak up because the speaking up is being kind. The speaking up is being kind to my soul. Otherwise, I feel frustrated, concerned, disempowered, I suppose. So I'm not calling on y'all to be activists, or maybe I am actually, maybe to be a soul activist, but in whatever way is um, right for you. I would also say that kindness is then calling out the behaviours that go beyond that line, and it's what is the line for ourselves? What is the behaviours that we might see, and it might be in ourselves. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean about, really challenging conversations with people, although sometimes that is. But it's also maybe a challenging conversation with ourselves because if also the line in the sand is about if I really want to do this work, whatever work it is, I need to be taking actions. I need to be committing to do the things that are going to move me further towards this vision that I have of a kinder, happier world. That's what I'm all about. In some way creating a kinder, happier world. And if I don't then take the actions to make the things that are actually going to create an opportunity for you all to have the work that you do out there, because I believe that that's how I'm helping make a kinder, happier world just now, because you are all bringing your own light into the world in whatever way your business operates. And if you align with the values that we've got here, then you're putting more kindness into the world and you're shining your light. And that's my mission. So if I don't put the events on to bring you in to help support you, if I don't talk about what Big Soul Network is all about, if I don't talk about the values, then I'm not actually doing that. So I need to then hold myself to account for that as well. And Yeah, so there's a bit of kindness of going, okay, it's maybe been a difficult time. We're at the start of the year, but we're now into definitely Firehorse energy and the potential for things to move quite quickly this year. It's still going to be dynamic if you follow any of the kind of, the astrology and any of the spiritual teachers and leaders who are talking about some of this. And yeah, and we'll gloss over some of them that we're perhaps now feeling a bit, goodness me, how are you connected to some of this darkness? Um, but if we're aware of any of that coming in, this year is a year of momentum and could definitely progress in a good way for those of us who are really connected in and want to make an impact. So that's then about taking action. It's also about checking in. It's about knowing that we are moving towards where we want to be and that we need the support still of the other people around about us. And that's really what Big Soul Network is here for. It is to support each other. It is to make it easier to stick our head above the parapet. It is to make it easier to share something if you're going, I don't know whether this is quite right yet. This is the space to come and do it, to test it out, even if you want to. I mean, it's what I'm doing with putting events and things on. I'm trying to test this out to see whether, do you want to come to this? Do you like this? Is this actually working? Is it offer value? Because I can be sitting sometimes on my own as well, thinking, is this the right way? Will this make a difference? But if I don't take the action and then check in and track what's working, I'm never going to move forward. So kindness definitely is then taking action, checking in. It's also then about supporting each other to reach our own potential. And that's different probably from a lot of sense of business for some people, because there's that fear of if I share something with you, then you might steal it. Or suddenly you might be the one who suddenly leaps forward and everyone's looking to you and you're now the one who's making money from something, who's having customers come to you, who's got the accolades and the light shining on them. And that I know can be a very human experience. But it's actually been able to go, that's not the energy that we bring into things in Big Soul Network. So being open to help and support somebody else, even if they're in your field, because I think that through the collaboration and the sharing of wisdom and information and support, then we can actually all rise together. It's not about one person suddenly taking off and everybody going, oh, it's all right for them. It is about us actually supporting and doing that for each other. And that's about kindness. Um, so I think that just to kind of try and sum it up, then, kindness is it's about learning in public. It's about falling down, getting back up, washing our face, and trying again. And doing that with the support of people around about us that we know will be there to lift us if we do fall flat on our face, because it's always a possibility. Goodness me, I've done it umpteen times. But I'm also being reminded, having just watched the Tony Robbins Unleashed documentary, about all of the wonderful stuff that I've done in the past, all the things that I look back and I think, my goodness, how did I do all of those things? And maybe some of that energy had just been a bit depleted by not being in that space of hope and excitement and potential and all the things, that the wonderful stuff and the wonderful feelings that we can have from all the good things. I've been a little bit distant from some of that for a little while. But this is where we can all actually support each other. And it's kind of thing, if you haven't looked at the soul activated wealth framework, that's what this is all about. It's not just about money. It is about a wealthy life, and a wealthy life full of good relationships, of you having that support, the friendship, the encouragement, the joy that actually lifts you up, what fills your cup. It is about creativity. It's about using your ideas, about tuning into ideas, about connecting with other inspirational stuff that's out there and sharing some of that, and then sharing that creativity in the work that you're doing so that it actually becomes something real. And that's what triggers then the financial aspects of what you have in your business. if you're working from that perspective, if you're really kind of tuning into the all that creativity and harness it in a wonderful way that actually is about your work, then putting that out, that's where the finances flow, because that's then about how you show up and you make a difference for the people that you're working with. You make the world a better place in whatever way you are working with those people, whether it's products or services or, like group work or whatever it is. That's the thing. You're bringing that into that, and that's what generates the money. But you can also generate money in lots of other opportunities. Yeah, it's around, and it's part of the wealth framework. As is also then looking at our physical health and surroundings and how we are looking after ourselves, and how we are surrounding ourselves with the things and the space that actually bring us, comfort and feel good. And then we're coming to the last part of my spiritual wealth, my soul activated wealth framework is spirituality and that connection to something beyond ourselves. How much are we growing and just really leaning into this soul space and being able to connect to consciousness? So all of that is really about being kind to ourselves. So if you haven't looked at it yet, please go and try it out. It's in the courses section. And I've now got the people digging outside the house. I thought I was going to manage to get through this without it, but never mind. Um, so yeah, so this is what Big Soul Network exists for. Um, and maybe you've got some other insights or connections or something else that you want to share about what kindness means for you. Look out, there's lots of events happening. I'll share something separately about that. But here you are, learn in public and be kind. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to everyone else. And I'd love to hear what your thoughts are and share what you're doing. Come and tell us what you're doing. Come and be brave. Come and learn in public in Big Soul Network. Don't just hide behind the scenes. Come and actually share it. You can share it in a post. You can come onto our online co-working connections that's on a Thursday morning, the first Thursday of the month that's coming up again next week, or in person in Largs, or just post something in the group and let us know what you're working on. Let us support you. Be kind. Thanks very much. I'll see you all very soon. Mwah.